I think I just found one of the best Bitcoin charts. This is a tweet from Zach Voel showing a logarithmic scale of Bitcoin. And in the chart, it shows the market sentiment surrounding Bitcoin at certain periods of time. In the beginning, question mark, what is this thing? And then from around 2012 to about maybe 2019, 2020, Bitcoin, a Ponzi scheme, a scam. And then all of a sudden, over the last year, store of value, great things going on for Bitcoin. And then all of a sudden, recently, over the last few weeks, it's going to zero. It is a scam. There was a lot of arguments in the comments saying that this is not what the chart looks like. This is a log scale. This is different than a linear scale. This is Bitcoin on a linear scale. This is Bitcoin on a log scale, which is usually used to display data for an asset that had exponential growth. But whatever type of chart this is, it doesn't matter. What really matters for this chart is the market sentiment. In the beginning, people didn't know what Bitcoin was. In the middle, it was a Ponzi scheme. Then maybe not really 2020, but maybe 2018, 2019, we started to say store of value, institutions getting in, infrastructure being built. You can spend your crypto at a store, anywhere Visa is accepted. And then all of a sudden, right now, as I'm making this video this week, Bitcoin is a scam. Bitcoin is going to zero. Crypto is going nowhere. And you can see how fast things can change. The last couple months for crypto has been hell. And then all of a sudden, this past week, it got even worse. And if you're watching this video today, maybe you're feeling better. Maybe you're feeling happy because after yesterday, when Bitcoin went below $30,000 and everyone was panicking, all of a sudden today, it's up 8%, Ethereum up 10%, Bitcoin at 32,000, Ethereum at 1975. And you can see our emotions can switch back and forth. And it's actually very scary. Think about it, that all year we were so bullish. And then even you see it's not even by the year or the month or the week. Now it's day by day. For all we know, tomorrow you can wake up and you'll be the happiest person in the world, or you'll be extremely anxious, nervous. You won't even be able to function. And there is a reason why. The less someone studies about their cryptocurrency, or really whatever asset they're invested in, the more emotional they will be. And the more they study their asset, the less emotional they will be. There are really only two ways to get exponential gains in investing, whether it's stocks or whether it is crypto. Number one, you forget that you own the asset, or number two, you know exactly what you are investing in. And the more you study, the more conviction you will have in a project, the easier it will be to hold on or to hodl. But the purpose of this video is not to tell you to study more in order that you hodl. The point is to study more so that you know exactly what you're holding. The case might be that the more you study an asset that you've been holding for a year or two that you're anxious about, maybe the more you study, the more you realize maybe this is something you don't want to hold on to. This is something that happened to me over the last 3 years. These assets, these crypto assets that I thought I was going to hold forever through the highs and the lows. But the deeper I went into these cryptos, the more I studied them, the less comfortable I was holding on to them. And then the more I studied other cryptocurrencies, the more comfortable I was holding on to them. And this is true for crypto especially. Anyone that made multiple millions in crypto today, they had to hold through these periods. The way we feel today, the way the markets are today, this is not the first time. This has happened numerous times before, and it will continue to happen. It will not go away. We will continue to have these ups and these downs, and it will play with your emotions. And the only way you can reduce that anxiety and reduce that nervous feeling that you always have when you hear these price differences is to study the asset. And it's also true for stocks. Even if we look at the #1 performing stock of all time, Amazon, it is the same case. If we look at Amazon, of course, it just goes straight up. So when was the best time to sell Amazon? We know the answer is never. But when you zoom in, it was not so easy. If we look at Amazon in the early days, in 1999, it went as high as $90, and then it came all the way down to $10, and then even to $5. These are massive losses, and it did not stop. Later on, Amazon went to about $93 in 2007, and then it came all the way down here to about $34. These are losses of 30, 40, 50% plus. And it didn't go away even as Amazon matured, even as Amazon became a leader, a great company. In 2018, we still had these drops. 2018, Amazon went to above $2,000, and then a couple months later, it went as low as $1,200 range. The only way you see exponential growth is when you know what you are buying. If you have anxiety every time you see these prices going up and down, and you're here for the long term, you probably want to go a little deeper into what you're holding. And this is also true for other top performing stocks over the past 20 years. Look at Coca-Cola. Yes, it looks like it went straight up, but when you zoom in, these are massive highs and lows, massive drops along the way. Altria Group, same thing. Early days in the 2000s, these are massive drops each and every time. And you either sell because you're scared, or you hold on and you buy more because you know what you're buying. And this video is not pointing to any specific cryptocurrency, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, or really to any specific investment. Whatever you're investing in for the long term, you need to know what you're holding. Many of us that got into the space recently, we just maybe look at the price of the market and it's going up and it's going down. And this is how we get into this whole cycle of, emotions, anxiety, and being nervous. And there are two types of difficulty in crypto, and you have to choose which one, that you will live with. Either you'll be a trader or you will be a long-term holder, and they're two separate skills. If you are a trader, it doesn't matter if the market's up or down. You learn how to read charts, you learn technical analysis. You could still make money when the markets are down, and you learn how to react to news. Holding is a different set of skills. Holding is learning about the fundamentals and actually ignoring everything else, right? When you're a holder, you tend to ignore the TA. It doesn't mean completely ignore it, because even if you want to use some TA, it can help you acquire more crypto for the long run. But same thing with market news, right? If you're a holder, you know what you're buying, despite whether the news is good or bad. So you have to choose which one you want to be part of, right? Maybe you want to be part of both. That's another possibility as well, but that's extremely difficult to do. Now, in terms of getting started, where do you begin? There are a million questions you can ask. I'm still asking them to this day, but I did make a video about 3 important questions you must ask about your cryptocurrency. Like I said, there are millions of questions, but if you really want to learn about what you're holding, you need to ask these 3 important questions. So I will leave a link for that video in the description below. And like I said early in the video, you might watch this video and then maybe it will bring you down some sort of rabbit hole. You'll continue to learn about what you're holding, and it might even end up being the case that what you're holding is maybe not a good project. Maybe you don't want to hold on to it. So the more you learn, the less anxiety you will have. So today is the day, make the change, because having this cycle of ups and downs, I'm telling you, it is not healthy. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.